10 good days of coding. Wow, like this is literally day 10 of our coding journey. This is so amazing. Like, we've done so much, and if you've been following all this while, I want to give you a big congratulations. You deserve an award. You deserve to be celebrated. And if you've been following, I can assure you that very soon you're going to be making a whole lot of money with website designs. You're going to be building portfolios, working for businesses, and all of those things. So without much ado, let's dive right into today's class. So we are still on Stylesheet, the last lesson. If you've not liked this video, please click the like button. Let's go. We've seen how we can use HTML tags and CSS classes to change the styles of groups of elements. Include button tag selector to make the buttons light blue, and the text class collector to make the text italic. So here we are trying to change the text and the button, decide the color of the text and the button in our website. So background color is light blue, so we are going to choose that button. The button is what? The background color of the button is light blue, while the font, the text is what? Italic. We'll mark it. Can you see that the button is light blue, while the text, click on the correct button, is what? Italic. Continue. If we want to style a specific element, we can include an ID selector. Here, we only want to select the button with a capital letter. First, we need to identify the element in the HTML. To set an ID attribute type, to set an ID attribute, type ID. So for you to set an ID attribute, first you are going to type what? ID. After ID, you put equal to. After equal to, you now put a quotation mark. So that is if you want to set an ID attribute. Continue. After this, the equal sign, set the value of the ID, capital letter in the case. So ID value should be unique within the HTML document, so we must not include the second ID attribute with the same value. So if we come here, we'll put first, we have ID equal to, so we'll now put capital letter inside the quote, so we'll mark it. Can you see that? Continue. Now that we have included the ID in the HTML element, we are ready to use the ID selector for our styles. To select the element by its ID, we type hashtag followed by the name of the ID, like capital letter here. So what we'll do here, we'll type hashtag first, then this, we are trying to add the ID selector. We want to add the ID selector to style our website, so we'll add hashtag before the capital, before our selector, our style selector. Can you see that? You click on continue. IDs will help us with JavaScript, and we shouldn't overuse them for styling. IDs will help us with JavaScript, and we should not overuse them for styling. However, we can apply styles as usual with the ID selector. Include a full rule for the hashtag capital letter ID. So we want to include a full rule here. First thing, we'll put we're going to put hashtag capital letter. Then we'll open our brace. We'll put our color, the color of this thing, then of our ID. We'll now close our brace. Can you see that it is now marked? The blue is now marked because that's the one we chose to style. Click on continue. What are IDs for? ID is for identifying HTML unique elements. ID style group of elements. IDs identify unique elements. IDs identify unique elements. Submit. Then it's correct to click. How do we set an ID attribute in the HTML file? How? By typing ID between the opening and closing tag. The other one say by typing ID in the opening tag. It is by typing ID in the opening tag. Correct. Continue. How do we use an ID selector in a style sheet? Is it by .id or a hashtag ID? We use what? Hashtag ID. Submit. Correct. Why do we say IDs are unique? Because two elements must not have the same ID, because they're group elements. It is because two elements cannot have the same ID. Continue. Set the ID for the heading element to title. Set the ID for the heading element. See the heading element here, flower. all right, which is heading 2. So to set it to title, just put id equal to title and we'll mark it. Can you see that? Continue. Style the text using an id selector. Style the text using an id selector. Our id selector uses hashtag trial, so that's correct. Can you see that? Try the free trial. So continue. Style the element with id basketball using an id selector in the style sheet. So id selector will just put hashtag, then we'll now put basketball. Type basketball. Hope the spelling is correct. Yes, and we'll mark it. Can you see that it's correct? Continue. What's wrong with this code? Looking at the code, what do you think is wrong with it? Best friend should be in capital letters. No. Several elements have the same id. Yes, several elements. Your paragraph 1 have best friend, and paragraph 2 id again is still best friend. Paragraph 3 the id again is still best friend. So that's what's wrong with it. Continue. Okay, they are calculating our progress. There you go. We have finished the first one for today, so we just need to complete today's own. We can now move over. Click on continue. You see day 10, like this is massive. Day 10 complete. We click on continue. We are strengthening our position. Click continue. We have one more key to use, so let us dive in with it. So here is a class. Let's just go straight. Here we are now learning how to style text. We are styling text, so click on continue. The other one was style sheet. Here we enter style text. Good. One of the most important parts of a website is the text. We can modify text in a lot of ways, from the size to the style or thickness. So continue. If you look at that one, if you look at this text, you see this one is italic, this one is normal, this one is italic, this one is bold, this one is bold italic, and this one is bold, what should I call it? And see the small text down here. So you can see all of those things. That's one thing with styling text, style text. So let's start by creating a rule to change the appearance of our paragraph. Creating a rule to change the appearance of our paragraph. So to create a rule to change the appearance, first we use the P brace. All right, we mark it. Can you see that? After P, you open your brace, you close your brace. Continue. To change how big text is, we use the font size property. So first to type font, then we'll now put hyphen, then size inside our brace. Can you see that? Continue. We measure elements on a web page by pixels. So the font size here is 60 pixels. So mark that. Can you see the size now? Continue. After the number, we follow with the shorthand for pixels P. So the pixels, we are not typing our pixels complete. We are measuring it to what? PX, which is shorthand for it. Continue. To set the type of fonts for an element, start by adding the font family property. So after you've typed your P, you open your brace, you add font size, you put the name of the pixels, the size of the font size. The next thing you have to do is to choose the font family so that the website will know where it belongs. Alright, so you click on font hyphen family. Can you see that? Correct. Continue. Now there are all kinds of possible values for font family, from Times Roman, Times New Roman to Helvetica. Here let's use Korean New. We are using Korean New. So looking here, you have Korean New, you have Arial. We are using our font family here is Korean New. So just put it there, mark it. Can you see the font size here? See Korean New. Look at this one, is different. Have you seen? You've changed the size of your font. You've changed your fonts. All right. So continue. The next one is to italicize the text of an element. We use the font style property and set the value to italic. What this English is saying is, if you want to make your text italic, first we use the font style. we are choosing what kind of style. So you have chosen the font size and you have chosen the font family where the font is from. And after that, if you now want to make that font italic, you will now use the font style. You use the font style property. So here we'll now put font style. You put your colon. After colon, italic, you put your semicolon. Mark it. Can you see that it's now italic? Let me take you to the last one. Can you see this is threads? Why this is italic? Continue. They said to bold the text of an element, we use the font weight. So here now, if you want to change you want to make the text italic, you use the font style. If you want to choose your font, use the font family. If you want to choose how big or how small your font should be, you use the font size. But now, if you want to make the font bold, you are not using font bold. No, you are using font weight. All right. So you come here, type font weight, colon, bold, semicolon, you mark it. Can you see that it's now bold? Look at this one, it's not bold. Look at this one, it's not italic. So this is normal. We now made it italic. Here it is still italic. We now made it bold. If we go back to our CSL and we remove this bold here, this italic here, this text will no longer be italic. So continue. How do we change the size of text of a web page? How do we change it? With the font size property, with the font family property. We are talking of the size of the font, so we use the font size property. Next one, they say, what is the shorthand for pixels? What is the shorthand for pixels? Which is px. That is it. Continue. They say, which property does the area value belong to? Area value. Area is a font family, so it belongs to the font family, not font style. So continue. Correct. What is the font weight property for? It's used for making text. They set the thickness. So it's either you say thickness or to make text bold. That is what the font weight is for, while italic is different. So correct. Continue. Set the font weight properly of the H1 element. We are setting the font weight of the H1 element. So first we click on font style. We now click on we say font weight. We click on bold because you're setting for the font weight. We want it to be bold. We'll mark it. It's correct. Can you see that? Continue. Set the font size of the P element, which is the paragraph element. We are setting font size, right? So click font size. We are setting for font size. So click size. Then we'll choose 12 pixels. You see, it's correct. Continue. Complete the code to set the font family properly of the font family property of the paragraph element. So we are setting the font family here. So we just come here and click font family Helvetica. All right, mark it. Can you see that? Continue. Then this is our last one for today. Set the font style property of the P element to italic. You are setting it to italic. So first we'll type font style. Font style. What am I typing? Font style. We'll put this, then we'll type italic. See, this thing is correct, Abby. So this is italic. We'll mark it correct. Okay, they said you entered font style italic. The correct one is font style italic. Okay, I did not give space. After this colon, you give space. All right, it's now correct. You click on continue. They are calculating our final progress. Oh god, they keep saying this thing every time. So they are saying it looks like I am offline, but actually we've completed our class. So you can see it from here that we've completed the class. All right, it's not going to show this thing later on. So that's just everything for today. I think my network is not stable, that's why it's like that. So correct. Can you see it is now marked, and they are giving me extra key because of network issues. So network is trying to favor me. So that is it. That's a wrap for today. If we start using this now, it will still lock. So tomorrow we are going to be setting size and borders. See you in our next class.